Cuts it back 5. Touchdown Breakers.
Yo, what is going on, Breaker Nation? It's your boy Leaux. I'm back up in this thing. We are closer than ever to this season, man. I cannot wait. Whew, I've been waiting too long for some Breaker football, man. All right. Anyway, so the other day the Breakers had a scrimmage, right? So, in case you didn't know, Birmingham and New Orleans traveled up to Memphis, and the Stallions took on the Gamblers in a scrimmage, and the Breakers took on the Showboats in a scrimmage. So I was able to gather a little bit of detail about, how our scrimmage went. I wasn't there, but I, spoke to some people that were there, things of that nature. So offensively, we only punted twice, which is good. I know you guys might have seen, the interception that Davis Cheek had thrown, but he also threw a touchdown, so it is what it is. But nonetheless, I was told that first team offense did really well. Again, there was a first team and a second team for offense and defense. Okay, so I was told that first team offense did really well, moved the ball well, made big plays, which is really important. Big plays are something that we kind of lacked last year offensively. And, it'd be nice to get some more of those this year. So, help us get some more points, maybe win a couple of those close games that we had, with Birmingham and things of that nature. So, again, first team offense did really well. McLeod Bethel-Thompson looks to be the quarterback one, which I figured so. I never wanted to really say that, but, I figured so. I did. McLeod Bethel-Thompson took a lot of the first team reps and did really well, moved the ball well, did his thing, got a rhythm. So that's really promising, really promising. Something that kind of stuck out to me a little bit is that, somebody said that this is an offense that people will enjoy watching. And I think that's big. I think that's big because last year's offense kind of like at a certain point, you just knew, right? Like we're either going to stall or we're going to kick a field goal. Like we didn't really get a whole lot of touchdowns. And, our offense wasn't very flashy. It was balanced. We ran the ball a decent amount. And I think, this, like I was told, this offense will be, enjoyable, will be worth watching. So that's promising to me. Defensively, I was told first team and second team did their thing. Like, quote unquote, they held Memphis immobile. So if that tells you, this defense, look, they're coming with a vengeance. That's something else that I heard. Like this defense is ferocious still. They still talk a lot. Jared Fernandez, they had a couple of little scuffles and things got a little wicked. But they're ferocious. They talk. It was like that last year. They carry that swagger with them, that mentality, and I'm okay with that, right? Like our defense is nasty, dude. You know what I mean? They're a nasty group, and even though we lost some guys, the Bellamy's and Ike Browns and just the list. The guys that we've lost, but for me to hear that first team and second team did their thing and held Memphis immobile, that's very promising to me as well, because I did have some worries about our defense after losing some guys. I do trust the defensive staff a lot. I do. When you lose, some key players like that, so that's promising, very promising. I also, heard a little bit about special teams, no missed field goals and no missed PATs, which we have a new kicker, right? So that's very good to hear because a lot of people, I heard some people say like, oh, this guy wasn't that good in college. I heard some people say, hey, this is a good signing. And, you never know. Kicker is a really weird position. So, hopefully, they did their thing. and Matt Coughlin did well from what I heard. So that's good. Take some pressure off. So all in all, it sounded like the scrimmage went well. So yeah, that's that. Moving on, our roster is now down to 54 players. It was at 58. So I'll list off the guys that got cut real quick. So it's running back Peter Guerrero, cornerback Josh Valentine Turner, safety Darian Slade, offensive lineman Donnell Green, and wide receiver Richie Sindini. So I figured one of our 4 running backs would get cut. I didn't think it would be Guerrero, but that's fine. I trust the staff. I trust Kirk Dahl and his evaluation of our running backs, our running back room. Josh Turner, the thing, I don't really like to harp on cuts very much because I don't know what the coaches see. I don't know how a player specifically fits what they're wanting. And I also just don't like to talk about people losing their job, even though a lot of players understand it's part of the business. I don't really enjoy talking about it. I do wish all these guys luck, and I hope to see them all get another chance in this league or in another league. So Darian Slade, that one kind of hurt a little bit just because he was one of the first people that I interviewed on Breakers Weekly, and he was a really cool dude with a really, really cool name. So, that one kind of sucks. But nonetheless, I did think that we would see, a couple DBs go. I thought we would see a wide receiver go. I thought we would probably see an offensive lineman or 2 go. And we still got 4 more players to cut. So, we'll see if we see maybe another wide receiver, maybe another offensive lineman. One thing to note, Bryce Watts. So our roster was listed at 59 for a little while, but that's because Bryce Watts was still listed, but he didn't have a number. Everybody else had a number at that point, but he didn't. And I was told that he did not show up to camp. So, we, I guess at some point they'll take him off the roster. I haven't looked yet. I think they probably did by now, but nonetheless, I will say this: it was supposed to be cut from 58 to 54, and we cut 5 guys, which means we actually signed a guy. So Jared Scott, tight end from Idaho State, the Bengals. I thought that tight end was a room that was safe to not see anyone get cut, but also didn't think we'd see another guy brought in. So I'm wondering if maybe they might cut one of the 3 that's there. I'm not entirely sure what the plan is with the tight end room as of right now. I will say that Sage Surratt is somebody that I've heard really positive things about, and that I've heard that he's doing really well in camp. And I mean, as you've seen from some of the highlights that you've seen posted on Instagram and Twitter from the social media team, which shout out to them, they're doing great stuff. We'll see what happens, but I watched a little bit of Jared Scott's highlights, and I mean, they're highlights, of course, but you can take a little bit from highlights, I think, as long as you do it decently, but nonetheless, he's 6'6". He's like, when you watch him, which if you go to his Instagram or his Twitter, he's got a highlight video posted. You can kind of see his build. He's like a big wide receiver, right? Like, he kind of reminds me of like Sal Cannella, honestly, which is ironic. But yeah, he's not like 280 pounds or anything crazy like that. He's just like a big wide receiver that happens to play tight end. And it's kind of similar to Sage Surratt. Sage Surratt was a wide receiver in college and is now playing tight end. So they're both slightly similar in that they kind of run receiver routes and they kind of move like a wide receiver, but they're big like a tight end. He's super athletic, super athletic. Dude's got hops. He can get up there. He's a receiving tight end. So I'm kind of curious about him. I don't know what they're going to do with the tight end room, but that's a guy that you could see, maybe make some noise at some point. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, April 8th is, I believe, when the rosters go down to 50. Don't quote me, but I think it's April 8th, either the 8th or the 10th, is when rosters get cut down to 50. So I'll update you guys, and give you my thoughts on that. But that's pretty much all I've got for this episode. So I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you're subscribed. You already know all the good stuff. Make sure you're following me. You guys know. So until next time, Breaker Nation, it is your boy Lowe. I am signing off. Peace.